Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Yasmin if you happen to be new to my channel, and if you're not, thank you for all your loyalty so far. If you haven't already, given me a subscribe and the little bell button so you get notifications of all of my new upcoming vlogs, then you can do so below, as well as a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. So today, it dawned on me a couple of days ago that the festive season is coming up, and this means the times you need to buy gifts for people. Now, if you are one of these people that you need to buy gifts for a girl, and this could be a different scenario such as a new girlfriend, a girlfriend's mother, an office colleague, even the instances where you have Kris Kringles, the Secret Santas, and you happen to have to get it for a girl, or maybe you just don't know if it's for a boy or a girl. Maybe even it could be a gay guy, and gay guys are kind of like, well, you don't want to get them something feminine, but they're not necessarily like masculine. So it's kind of like, the in-between. So I know myself, if I have to buy a gift for a straight man, it's really, really hard. And then you end up just going for the easy way out, such as like a gift voucher or a bottle of alcohol. And then depending on the budget as well, like if it's a Kris Kringle and it's a $20 budget, you don't want to get a bottle of alcohol for $20 because that's just like cheap and gross, right? So you just end up getting like a gift card because it's the easy way out. I find that with Kris Kringles, when I worked for an office, it used to be like a lot of people got a lot of chocolates, like a lot of chocolates. And that is like not really much thought to be honest, put into either. And not a lot of people eat chocolate, and not a lot of people like chocolate, right? So it's kind of like not much thought, or they might be on a diet, right? So in this particular video, I'm going to go into a few like different scenarios about what to expect and what would be really appreciated for someone who is accepting a gift, and if it is for like females. So if you're a guy and you need to buy for a female, this will really help you out. First scenario is the office Kris Kringle or the office something or other. If someone's buying, generally in office things, if someone's leaving, for example, or it's their birthday, they usually just go around to everyone and collect money, and then someone is allocated to buy the gift with whatever amount is collected, and that is like, the easy way. The other situation is coming up to the end of the year. Most offices and do it. I don't know, like maybe yours does, maybe yours doesn't, is the Secret Santa Kris Kringle. There are two kinds of ways people do the Secret Santa Kris Kringle, and the first way is like you pull a name out and you know who that present is going to be for, or it's actually just secret and all the presents get put together and then you just pull one out, and in which case it needs to be a unisex gift. If it is for a unisex gift, the best options are, under keeping the money like the thing low, would be a gift voucher. A gift voucher is a little bit more thought to it and a little bit more versatile than a box of chocolates or a cheap bottle of wine that might just get, stored, or, people just might not drink. Personally, like I don't drink alcohol, and if I got gifts of alcohol, I just re-gift it, right? If it's something expensive, if I had a guest, I would save it for if I have a guest, but if it's something cheap, it's just like a re-gift. But it's kind of like impersonal, right? So definitely a gift voucher for a department store usually, or a Westfield is usually the best thing. And if it's like an online store, usually like a department store that has many different things you can use with it, such as like Westfield ones are good because there's various stores within Westfields that will accept them, or online stores like online department stores because you can be unisex. Now, if it's a girl and it's a Kris Kringle, you can do the same thing. Like department stores are really good because then she can use that also to buy something for, whoever, her kids, whatever. It's really, really versatile. At online department stores, usually exactly the same. The last thing you want to do, and it might seem common sense, is buy a gift voucher for, say, Liquorland, and she's a non-drinker, or they're a non-drinker, or like a gift voucher for, petrol voucher, and they don't drive a car, right? So you're just gonna like keep it, broad and narrow, broad, and that's probably the easiest thing to do. That's like for an anonymous. Another good idea for a girl that might be like a Kris Kringle. Now this could be a unisex Kris Kringle, it could be a gay guy, or it could be a female, and that is scented candles. Like make sure that they are a nice scented candle that is a soy wax soy candle, which, you know, they can also be used as a body moisturizer. There are some brands which are really, really great, such as Dusk and More, MOR. And yeah, there are just Glass House is another really good one that, you know, the budget's quite big. You can go to the markets, and the markets have them a lot less price with some really great scents, and you're also supporting local business. So that's something that you can take as a gift for, say, a Kris Kringle or a Secret Santa, or just like an office acquaintance, you know, that's not like alcohol or chocolates, right? And they can keep it and it smells nice and whatever. Like, a lot of girls will never go say no for a nice scented candle. Know her, like it might be an office colleague that you're kind of friends with, like you go have lunch together and you're friends, is you might be able to know like something more personal about them, or if they might like candles, or they might like, you know, like a gift voucher towards like, you know, getting a facial done, or a gift voucher for just something like a little bit more, you know, a particular book that they like to read, or, you know, something a little bit more personal. But that would only be if you know that person really, really well. The next scenario is say it's a girlfriend, but it's a brand new girlfriend, right? So brand new girlfriend, you don't really know her that well in order to like buy something, like to really, really guess what she might like. You also don't want to like not get her anything because it's a brand new relationship and you want to impress her, but at the same time to over splurge on this particular person can lead to materialism in the future, such as, oh, if the girl has a materialistic nature, that expectation of that like very expensive gift would lead like later on down the track, if you're still together and the value in the gifts does decline, because, you know, like a very expensive gift might not be realistic for someone like yourself. Like it may be, it may not be, but you know, if it's not, then that would kind of like lead to disappointment in the future. And she might even use that materialism, for example, say, oh, you don't like me anymore because you don't splurge on me anymore, you're only splurging on me because you're trying to impress me, you know. So just be careful when spending, like overindulging with that particular girl. Like if she is a materialist or she's not a materialist. If she's a materialist, it might be a little bit tricky as well, because if you are not the kind that can keep up with what her expectations would be of what gifts would be, then that may be a little bit difficult. Your life will be easier if she's not a materialist and she's more of a sentimentalist. If she's a sentimentalist, then you have a lot more leverage in which to buy her something reasonable and with thought, and that she can hold on to, and, you know, it'd be like impressive but not like breaking the bank, and it's very easy to sustain that in a long term and then maybe impress her later with something else, or, you know, it's that. If she's a materialist, I would suggest offering like to take her shopping and just say what the budget might be, or if there was something that she had in mind for, you know, oh, it's your birthday coming up, or, you know, Christmas coming up, or whatever your celebration and your faith may be, what would you like to do? Like even just a holiday away together or a weekend away is actually equivalent to a gift, right? Like that will be equivalent, and it's time to spend together because you might lead very separate lives. So even like a joint travel like gift is something really, really good in which you can like spend more time together, and a lot of girls are down for that. Now, if she's a sentimentalist, then you have a lot more leverage to work with, right? So, because she will like actually savor everything that you give her, even like a piece of paper that you've written on, or, you know, like something really small. You could even pick her flowers and she would love those picked flowers as opposed to like a dozen red roses, right? You want to ask the girl or then surprise the girl, but generally speaking, it's you really need to know her well. I would avoid things like perfume, because perfume, she might not like that particular smell, or it might just not respond to her. Like with perfume, it's I also find perfume is very impersonal, and you know, like it might be the smell that you like in the store or the sales assistant in the store likes, but it might necessarily blend well with that particular girl's skin. Okay, so I'll be very careful with buying perfume for any girl if you don't really know her well and you don't know what perfumes that she wears already. If you're going to buy a bottle of perfume, I would always team it up with something that's a little bit more with thought, because if she's a sentimentalist, pretty much like a bottle of perfume isn't going to cut it, because it's kind of like for something that you would get for a materialist, right? So a sentimentalist will go for something more romantic, like such as, you know, just be spontaneous and romantic, like a weekend away or a particular surprise, or if she's an adventure kind of girl, like, you know, a time together, like you can both go do a particular activity together, like go skydiving together or go jet skiing together, or a trip to, you know, some wildlife park together. Gift voucher is also very impersonal, but what would be very personal would be something just too good to do together in a way. But then if you're going to do something that's together, is I would team it up with something that she can keep, like even if it's just like, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive, but just like a bracelet or a necklace. Be very careful with buying jewelry. Again, too, is really know what she wears, so pay particular attention to what kind of jewelry that she wears. If she's a more like a gemstone kind of a girl, she likes very simple kind of things, you can, you know, just, you need to pick up on watching, because jewelry can be kind of like be hit or miss. I would avoid rings unless you know her ring size, because, you know, all girls have different size ring, you know, fingers, so rings will be like, you know, but a bracelet's nice, necklace is nice, and also rings can be taken the wrong way as well, and you might not want that, especially if it's a new relationship. The third scenario is that it's a girlfriend that you've been with for quite some time, and by, you know, if you've known her for quite some time, you would know what she likes, you would know what she doesn't like, and so it'd be a lot easier to, you know, to be able to buy for her. Again, I would avoid clothing unless you know her exact size, because like sizes change, like the size that's on the website or in the store might not fit. Like girls have different like body shape, so a size might not be just like for everybody, and also if it's made overseas it might be a lot smaller. So I would avoid like a clothing unless you know exactly, or you're going to take her shopping, like take her out and say, hey, do you want to, like, you know, and this is my budget, if you want to go shopping for her. That if you want to surprise her, you can always surprise a girl regardless of what if she's new or she's not new, or, you know, anyone. Always surprise her with some flowers. Now, bought flowers can come in a range of different budgets. Some girls, if she's a real sentimentalist and a hippie, you know, picked flowers is fine. But you can also get, like, you know, it's very inexpensive to buy plants. For me personally, I like plants because I can keep it, you water it, you keep it alive, and it's really nice. Flowers kind of like get thrown out, right? So if you're kind of like on a little bit of a budget, then it might be an idea to buy a nice plant with a cute little, you know, something like a teddy bear, or a cute like little piece of jewelry in there, like a bracelet or a necklace or a pendant, like a pendant with her name initial, like, you know, you get the, you know, the initials of the alphabet on a pendant. But you need to also like pay attention to whether or not she wears gold or silver, because also keeping in mind that would play a big part on the budget. And if she, you know what I mean, because some girls don't wear gold and some girls do wear silver, and it's just like a personal preference. And if you're buying, if say she wears gold and you buy her silver, make sure you team it up with the chain necklace. Silver is a lot more less expensive than gold. The next one would be, you need to buy your girlfriend's or your friends, your female friend's mother. This might be so random, but you never know like how close that your girlfriend is to her mother, and you want to do something nice. You know, you could be part of the family, or it might just be a new girl and you want to impress her, and then you've been invited to a family dinner or a family function and you need to buy it for the mother. Mature women, you need to like not get the same kind of style of things as you would get for someone who is like your girlfriends or you know your girl's age, right? Like, so, you know, styles do change, you know, from when we're younger. As we get older, women, what we wear is like, you know, a woman who's in her mature ages is not going to wear the same clothes as a girl that's in, you know, her youth, right? So I would avoid things, you know, of this particular nature, such as clothing. I'd also avoid shoes, even for a girlfriend, unless you're taking her shopping, because you don't know her shoe size, also that she's going to like them and feel comfortable and feel sexy in them at the same time. Now, for a mature age lady, I would probably opt for, like, if you know her perfume that she particularly wears, like, the easiest thing with this one is you can always ask your partner what would she like? And your partner can often go buying for that. But if you want to be spontaneous and buy something yourself, you know, perfume's a good one. If you know exactly, usually women by that particular age have their favorite perfume and they wear the one perfume or maybe two and then they don't switch. In fact, women in general usually have like their favorite two perfumes and they don't really switch from that. It's just how it is, right? So favorite perfume, a nice bouquet of flowers is always nice, and also a gift voucher for something to be pampered with, such as a facial or a massage, or you know, something nice, even like a voucher for her and her husband if she's married or partnered or whatever, to go for you know, an evening out, like a restaurant of some, you know, a restaurant. Next scenario is buying for your mother, and one would assume that you know your mother really, really well enough to know exactly what she likes and what she is, you know, what she might want in her life, what perfume she wears, if she's saving up for a particular holiday or a particular, you know, outfit. You would really know what she likes. It's really, really knowing what the recipient of your gift would particularly want. And then if you are confused about what you would want, getting something broad in general in which they can choose, such as a gift voucher. But usually your mother, you want to get something personal, and you would particularly know if she's, you know, saving up for a particular holiday, or she likes a particular perfume, or she might want to, you know, be pampered, or even a subscription to something, like a subscription for, you know, if she likes to go to the cinemas, you know, a yearly subscription to something, a nice cruise or a trip, or you know, there's many things available, and you would really, really know what she likes and what she does not like. Next scenario is your friend, your female friend. Again, you would already know what she would be interested in, as she is your buddy, and you know that it would be really, really simple. You don't want to get anything that is romantic, and then you don't really want to get anything that's kind of like just bland either. So really choose carefully and just get her something that she might particularly be in, and then followed by the friends with benefits. Now, be very, very careful when buying for the friends with benefits, and this would only be in the instance that you are friends with benefits and it is really cool between both parties. Personally, myself, I never go down that line of friends with benefits. You're either one or the other. There is no like mixing of the two. Some people are down for that and cool with that. I can't imagine how, but anyway, if you are, you are. The reason why I'm saying be very, very careful with this is because you don't want to get something that would maybe lead the other person to believe there might be something serious, you know what I mean? But you might be friends with benefits and actually be able to maintain a friendship with that as well. And something has come up, like maybe a party, and she's invited you along to that, and you want to get her something. Now in this instance, if it's like say a party, it's a group thing and she's a drinker, a nice bottle of champagne. Make sure it's champagne and not cheap sparkling wine too, because you don't want to be a tight ass. And then, you know, like just say, do not get her flowers. Flowers is way too romantic for a friends with benefits and it could be misconstrued. Do not get her jewelry, do not get her perfume. I would just say, you know, like a bottle of, you know, a thing, or even an adult toy that you can use together, because that is like your, you know, that's your gig, right, that goes on together. So that will probably be my two options for your friends with benefits. So thank you guys for listening, but ultimately, as I explained, it's really about knowing who the recipient of your gift would be and really getting to know them. And if you don't really know what they're into, very way generally, women are very open about what they like and don't like, and you can kind of get a vibe for what, you know, they're into anyway. And so really choose carefully, and if you're really not sure, you could even ask her friends. Friends will always tell you, but make sure they keep it a secret. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.